Hello and welcome. This is Deepak Mishra, and on this channel, we talk about productivity, entrepreneurship, and the financial freedom, the true freedom in my view. If you find these topics interesting and aspire for financial freedom, then subscribe to this channel. Now, today's topic is how to get to financial freedom. This is going to be a gross topic where we'll see a broad overview, and in the following videos, over the period of time, we'll go into the nitty-gritties and details of it so that each of us can have a good idea about what expects us, how should we go about it. The first step is to understand your financial situation. That means at what phase of life you have, the income that is coming through, the expenses that they go out on monthly basis, on yearly basis. That clear idea one has to have, and the surplus that you would have at end of a year. Every year, how much you earn, how much you spend, how much you save. What did you do with that saving since you have been working? So that you have to understand the financial situation. With that information from the past, one can extrapolate in the future. So that is why understanding your financial situation would be the first step. How do we go about it? We will talk in a separate video, and more detailed way of more detailed way about it we'll learn later. Point number 2, where most of us struggle, me too, struggle with making a budget. Even now, the income that comes in, the expenses that happen, at the end what remains is my saving. That is a wrong way to go about it. The ideal way is to pay yourself first. That means the income that comes in, from that, what expenses you would require according to your made planned budget, that you have to remove, and then rest you have to save already. Or maybe you can go about it like this, that income that comes in, from that the amount that you must save, the percentage, that has to be taken out first, and the remaining amount you can use for the monthly expenses, and plus if something is remaining, then you can have an extra you can enjoy with that money. That is the point number 2. For this budgeting, you can use different ways. There's Excel sheet way, there are several apps as well to find out how to go about that, and we will create a video about budgeting separately. All right, about budgeting, there is also this 50-30-20 rule, which means 50 is the needs, 30 is the wants, and 20 is the saving per month. Now, if you are aware of this budgeting rule, write in the comment section that how do you use it, or if you use it. And if you're not aware, then also you can write about, we can go in detail about this 50-30-20 rule. The next point is the setting up an emergency fund. Now, how much emergency fund is okay or is necessary? That is a very difficult question to answer, because that depends upon your lifestyle, the kind of expenses that you have, the debt that you have taken. So multiple factors are there. But roundabout, if one says minimum of 3 months to 6 months range can be taken. To be safe side, be on the 6 months area, where you have amount of 6 months of your monthly expenses saved in some bank account in a liquid form, which you can withdraw in a very short notice. Things that it should cover is your accommodation. If you are in a rented apartment or a house, then you have to pay the rent. Your food has to be covered, utilities have to be covered, the insurances that you have to pay, the health insurance, other insurance that you have to pay, that has to be covered. So these things, the debt that you have taken, the monthly EMIs that that has to be covered. So that way, emergency fund has to be there before you. That is one way for you to protect yourself from any mishap that might suddenly come into picture, which you have not calculated in your calculations. The next step is pay off your debts. The debt are of two kinds, good debt and bad debt. Both debts have to be paid off. The details about what is a good debt, what is a bad debt, what should you think about when you take debts. So those things will be discussed. Those things are a little complicated. We will discuss that in future. But for now, this is an introductory video for the channel. I don't think that many people will watch it. If you're watching this, I'm thankful to you. Please subscribe to this channel. We need your support at this point of time. It's a totally first video on this channel, so do that. Talking about debt. you have to start paying off your debt which has the highest interest. Now this might seem very intuitive, that's very so simple, why not? But most people don't do that. Most people, what they do is that they pay off the debt which is smaller in amount. Okay, so that should not do. You should pay the debt which has higher interest rates, and the amount that you save from the next step, that is actually the next step, this amount that you save from the debt and the amount that you save from your savings, that 20%, that you have to invest. Now investing can be very tricky for people who don't have any idea about that. That's why you have to learn about investing first of all. There are different modalities, different ways, learn about that. I personally, for a person who has no knowledge or less knowledge, I would say go on the safer sides without much complication. And person who is accustomed to it, who knows trading, and not the trading but long-term investing, so he might go in that in a more nuanced way and more detailed way, where the risks are high and the profits are also high. But some investing has to be done. If you don't have any idea, that is not the reason that I would not invest. If you don't have idea, get an idea. Okay, now I'm not an investing expert, so I'm not going to go into details about that. Maybe we can talk about my opinions later about on that. The next step that is very close to my heart is to diversify your stream of income. Now, I am a full-time surgeon. I work in a hospital, I work 50 to 60 hours per week, and I earn my living through that. Along with that, I also have a consultancy, education consultancy company. And now we are working on a new project, which is not generating any revenue as of yet, but it's a medical health information project. So I have this 3 platforms which I have built over the period of last several years. Now the purpose is that if there is a situation where due to something I'm not able to operate, then my entire career, my medical training, my post-graduation, all my work that I have put in will go to vain, because I cannot practice the craft that I have learned. And also that will shatter all my plans and ambitions of financial freedom that I have. So for that it's important to have a diversified source of income, where the factors that influence that have to be different. If to work as a surgeon, I need my both hands, and I need to stay for long hours, I have to work long hours in a hospital setting, then I have to build something as a side income, as a side stream, where those factors can be reduced or nullified. And that is how the education consulting came into picture. That is how my previous YouTube channel came into picture. So the diversifying your source of income, you can do various things. You can do freelancing, you can learn website designing, you can learn financial consulting, you can learn so many things. We will talk about that in detail later on. But diversify your income, I put very high emphasis on that. And the last is to stay committed on your plan. You make a plan and then you don't divert from that plan, because it's very easy to give way. Especially if you're a good income person, if you're earning pretty well, then to stay committed to the course of action that will eventually, maybe in 10 years or 15 years, lead you to financial freedom. Staying on course is very difficult because of the immediate attractions and the distractions that happen. But I hope and I suggest that you maintain that discipline. And if you are subscribed to this channel, and if we build up this community, definitely we will see to it that you are accountable to your plans and promises that you have done to yourself. If you feel that this video is good and this channel appears to be good, maybe in the future, subscribe to this channel. Let us be the part of your journey towards your success. Thank you very much. Have a good time.